6 points of difference at the top of the table over in Germany, with Bayern München reigning supreme at the moment over current champions Bayer Leverkusen. But can that gap be closed this weekend? We'll take a look at that. Much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today is all about match number 29, that's right, in Germany, and we'll get to that in a second. Of course, if you know where you've been, hit the old subscribe, your one-stop shop for Blackburnovers, world football. We're going to all here under Von Ruski. That's right, the champions need to close the gap somehow, but of course, 6 points can be done over the next few games, but will that gap be shortened this weekend? We'll showcase you that and more in a second. Of course, big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are, and again, if you new, hit the old subscribe, your one-stop shop for German football is right here, folks. So what we're going to do now, though, is revisit the last round of games, bring it back out to date with the Superbru, and of course look forward to this weekend's drama. So here we go then, guys, bringing you back up to date with the games, and these were those. As you see it, of course, Bayern with a 3-1 win over Augsburg. I went with a 2-1 win. Leverkusen did beat Heidenheim 1-0 win. I went with a 2-0 win. Stuttgart with a massive 4-0 win over Bochum. I went with a 2-1 win. Dortmund did beat Freiburg 4-1 there, as they're slowly clicking into gear. Could be just the right time for both a domestic recovery and maybe even the Champions League 2-1 winners, though I went the other way. Right, Leipzig also on the back of a big win, 3-1 win over Hoffenheim. I went with the 2-0 win. Mainz and Holstein Kiel did duke it out to a 1-1 draw. I went with a 1-0 win. Werder Bremen with a 2-0 win over Eintracht. Frankfurt, I went the other way. And St. Pauli with the last late equaliser there against Mönchengladbach, 1-1 draw. And Union Berlin with a 1-0 win over Wolfsburg. Goodness gracious me. So, yeah, a bit of a mix-up in the table, you would imagine. Well, it looks a little bit like this as you see it. Well, this is the table as you see it here, guys. Bayern München, of course, 68 points right now. By Leverkusen are in second, as of course the race for the top two is on the between those two guys at the moment. The race for the top four, though, is still anybody's guess. Mainz dropping points, Leipzig back in the thick of things, Frankfurt dropping points as well. Just 4 points separate third and sixth right now, my boys. Mönchengladbach, Freiburg on the outside looking in. Dortmund trying to make a late surge as well. Yeah, and as for the race going down, it does look like Bochum and Holstein Kiel are it. Heidenheim, though, in the playoff discussion. So we'll see what happens over there when we, of course, move on to the next round of games. But before that, let's take a look at the Superbru. And the Superbru, folks, looks a little bit like this. But Zanders went away with 13 points this past week, beating the likes of O'Connor into second spot with Noah, Vinny Hong, and Vindaloo victory. KP21, all in bronze. A bit of bronze medalage right there. Of course, Russell Frosty also in the mix, or in the chasing pack, as for a bunch of other fellas. Make sure you smash the name, smash the like if you see a name. That's includes you guys, all of you guys, every single one of you. Smash the like-a-reno, and of course don't forget to go and subscribe if you're new. Big look at Noah there, 240 points for him. 228 is Ultra Omar and Teabi as in bronze right now, with Saki trying to close in on them as one of the big movers this week. Yes, overseas, that's me going down 4 spots because I've resigned. You know the rules. I've just been preoccupied, but I'll be back next year to take the title from all of us. The challenge is thrown down. Gauntlet is down there, guys. What about, of course, the link? This is the link if you want to get involved. Still, if you're not, if it's kind of not pointless to get involved right now, but you can maybe familiarize yourself with how it all works, so you become a prediction king next time around. So here we go, looking forward to those next round of games, and these are those. So let's get into it and have a look at the games kicking all off on Friday night. It's Wolfsburg, it's Leipzig, it's of course the Volkswagen Arena. Wolfsburg and Ralf Hasenhüttl are 12th right now, 38 points for the season, just one win though in the last 6 matches. Up against Leipzig and Zost Zlö, who's the coach right now. They are 5th right now, 45 points for the season, 2 wins in the last 4 matches. They played 25 times in 2011. We've got 7 wins Wolfsburg, 12 wins Leipzig. There's been 6 draws between the two sides. Last time around, of course, over at Wolfsburg, it was a 2-1 win for Wolfsburg back in November 2023. Leipzig, though, picking up a 1-0 win, the reverse fixture. Actually, that was on the reverse fixture was a 5-1 win for Wolfsburg this season back in November 2024. They've also played in the DFB Pokal. Leipzig coming out top with a 1-0 win in the quarterfinal stages. Wolfsburg, though, losing to Union Berlin most recently. They haven't scored a goal, though, in the last 3 matches, as they've lost 3 on the bounce, as Wolfsburg. Leipzig picking up a 3-1 win over Hoffenheim. Massive win for them in their race for the top 4. The odds, though, for this one is quite tight. Leipzig just about edge it. It could be a draw, though. I'm going with a 2-0 win, surprise for Wolfsburg. Wow. Going against the grain. Meanwhile, my boys, Mönchengladbach taking on Freiburg, coming out to the Borussia Park. Gladbach and Gerard Serginho are 6th right now, 44 points for the season. Up against Freiburg and Julian Schuster, who are 7th with 42 points, but they are winners in the last last 6 matches, including 3 defeats on the spin. Now, they played Gladbach 50 times since 1993, 16 wins for Mönchengladbach, 17 wins for Freiburg. There's been 17 draws between the two sides, with the last match at this very venue being a 3-0 win for Freiburg back in March 2024. Now, the reverse fixture this season, also a 3-1 win for Freiburg. Now, the previous 4 matches between these two sides ended up all square. Are we going to return to that kind of sort of a similar result, or are we going to get a victory once again? Gladbach, though, on the back of that 1-1 away draw to St. Pauli. Freiburg losing to Dortmund quite convincingly in their own backyards. The bookies' odds on this one give it to Mönchengladbach. They're expected to win. I'm going to give them with a 1-0 win, just enough to get the 3 points and hopefully move them bloody chains. That's right. Bochum up against Augsburg this coming Saturday, April the 12th at the Vonovia Stadion. Bochum under Dieter Hecking are 17th right now, 20 points for the season. They've won twice in the last 6. Up against Augsburg and just up. They're 11th right now, 39 points for the season with just 1 defeat in the last 6. Now, they played 10 times, these two clubs, since 2010. 5 wins Bochum, 3 wins Augsburg. There's been 2 draws between the two sides, with the last match at this very venue being a 1-1 draw way back in February 2024. Now, the reverse fixture in Augsburg back in November was a 1-0 win for Augsburg. It was back on match number 12. Bochum, they were losing to Stuttgart most recently. Augsburg also losing to Bayern most recently. Of course, the odds right here, right now, it is again tight. Bochum just about edge it, according to the bookies, but for me, I'm going to back that up with a 2-1 win to boost their own relegation hopes and dent in Augsburg's recent good bit of form. Meanwhile, Hoffenheim taking on Mainz, coming at you over at the Preso Arena. Hoffenheim under Christian Ilsner are 14th right now, 27 points for the season, just 1 win in the last 6 up against Mainz and Bo Henriksen, 67% form for them. They are 4th with 46 points. They are winless though in the last 3. Now, they played 33 times since 2007, 9 wins Hoffenheim, 15 wins Mainz. There's been 9 draws between the two sides, including a draw when these two sides last played at this very venue back in November 2023. It was a 1-1 draw way back then. This time around, though, this season, 2-0 winners it was for Mainz at Mainz back in December. In fact, typically, 5 of the last 6 matches have ended up with the home side winning this one. So if that form was to continue, Hoffenheim should come out on top. But the hosts are on the back of that 3-1 loss to Leipzig. Mainz on the back of that 1-1 draw against Holstein Kiel. The odds for this one, Mainz expected to get the win, but it is tight. It could be a draw here, guys. But I'm going with the away side winning, 2-1 winners. Mainz getting the W, and Hoffenheim taking the L. Leverkusen, they're up against taking on Union Berlin this weekend at the Bay Arena. That's right. Leverkusen under Xabi Alonso are 2nd right now, 62 points for the season. They win 3 out of the last 4. Up against Union Berlin, Stefan Baumgart, who are kicking ass right now, 13th for the table, 33 points for the season. They're unbeaten in the last 4. They played 14 times in 2003, 9 wins Leverkusen, just 1 win for Union Berlin, and there's been 4 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at this very venue was a 4-0 win for Leverkusen back in November 2023, with the reverse fixture being a 2-1 win for Leverkusen at Berlin back in November. Leverkusen picking up that 1-0 win over Heidenheim most recently. Of course, they did lose the DFB Pokal match against Bielefeld. Goodness gracious me. Union Berlin, though, on the back of that 1-0 win over Wolfsburg to make it back-to-back wins. The bookies' odds on this one, they'll go with Leverkusen. They need to win to keep the heat and the race for the title. And of course, this weekend is massive. I've got Leverkusen winning this one. Of course, I do. Bookies also, I've gone with a 2-0 win to give them a big old boost this season. Meanwhile, Holstein Kiel taking on St. Pauli coming at you this Saturday as well at the Holstein Stadion. Holstein Kiel and the Marcel Rapp, 18th for the table, 18 points for the season. They are winless though in the last 4 matches. Up against St. Pauli under Alexander Blezin, 15th for the table, 26 points for the season, just 1 defeat in the last 4. They played 26 times since 2003, 8 wins Holstein Kiel, 12 wins St. Pauli, and there's been 6 draws between the two sides. Last time I played each other over at this very venue, it was back in February 2024 in the Zweite Bundesliga. We had a 7-goal thriller, 4-3 it was for St. Pauli. In fact, oh my lord, of the last 4 matches, get your calculators out here, guys. Last 4 matches between these two sides, St. Pauli have won all 4 of them, but there's been a shit ton load of goals. There's been 7, 14, 18, 20 goals in the last 4 games between these two sides. It's averaging 5 goals a match, I think. I don't even think that's right. 7, 14, 21, no, 24 goals, 6 goals a game, averaging 6 goals a game. I still don't even think that's right. Let me get my calculator out. 24 goals are bloody in the last 4 matches, averaging, 6 goals a game. I was right. So goals galore expected. Holstein Kiel, they're picking up a draw against Mainz most recently. St. Pauli with a draw also against Mönchengladbach most recently. The odds, though, for this one is tight. St. Pauli expected to get the W. I've gone with a pathetic 1-1. It's probably going to be a 4-4 draw at Holstein Kiel in my eyes. Meanwhile, it is the Klassiker. It is here. It is Bayern. It is Dortmund. It's all on here. Of course, if Dortmund can get the W or at least take points off Bayern, then the title race should be back in the spotlight. Bayern, though, of course, at top of the pops right now, 68 points for the season, just one defeat in the last 6. Against Dortmund, Nico Kovac just one defeat in the last 4. They sit 8th right now, 41 points for the season. But of course, this is a busy week over in Germany, with both these two sides in Champions League action. They played 83 times since 1992. 45 wins for Bayern, 20 wins for Dortmund. There's been 18 draws. Last time around, of course, over at Bayern, it was a 2-0 win for Dortmund way back in March 2024. The reverse fixture also a 1-1 draw at Dortmund back in November. Dortmund, though, picking up a 4-1 win over Freiburg. Bayern picking up a 3-1 away win against Augsburg. Of course, both sides are in Champions League action. It's going to be a difficult game for both of those two sides. Bookies odds, though, give it to Bayern on this one. I've gone with a 3-2 win, unfortunately, which could be a title over, you would think. But we'll see. There's still funny. Football's a funny old game. Into the final two, we have Stuttgart up against Werder Bremen, coming at the MHP Arena. Stuttgart under Sebastian Hoeneß are 9th right now. 40 points for the season on back-to-back wins. Up against Bremen and Oliveira, just one defeat in the last 4. They sit 10th with 39 points. Now, they played 60 times, these two clubs, since 1992. 19 wins for Stuttgart, 20 wins for Bremen. There's been 21 draws between the two sides. Now, the last time they played over at Stuttgart, it was a 2-0 win for Stuttgart back in December 2023. The reverse fixture at Bremen, 2-2 draw it was back in November. Bremen, though, 2-0 winners over Frankfurt most recently to back-to-back clean sheets, back-to-back wins for them. Stuttgart, though, on the back of that 4-0 win over Bochum, scoring 7 goals, conceding just the one in the last 2 matches. Odds on this one, Stuttgart expected to get the W. I'll go with the 2-0 win as well for them to get the big old points haul. And of course, we wrap it all up with Frankfurt taking on Heidenheim, also on Sunday, April the 13th at the Deutsche Bank Park. Frankfurt under Dino Topmuller are 3rd right now, 48 points for the season, just one win in the last 3 matches. Because Heidenheim under Frank Schmidt, 16th for the table, 22 points for the season, just one defeat in the last 4. They played 5 times since 2015, 4 wins Frankfurt, just 1 win for Heidenheim. There's been no draws between these two sides. Last time around at Frankfurt, 2-0 winners it was for Frankie way back in October 2023. The reverse fixture this season, 4-0 winners it was for Frankfurt over Heidenheim back in December. So 4 wins on the spin for Frankfurt against Hoffenheim. They've only conceded 1 goal against them in the last 3. Coming into this, Frankfurt on the back of a 2-0 loss to Bremen. Heidenheim losing to Leverkusen most recently, but the odds right here are now back Frankfurt. Of course they do, as do I. 1-0 win, get back to winning ways, and of course maintain their top 4 status. This is what the table will look like at the end of it, with Bayern remaining top of the pops with 71 points. Leverkusen are in 2nd, Frankfurt in 3rd, Mainz are in 4th. Going down, Holstein, Kiel, Heidenheim, Bochum are in that playoff spot right here right now. But it still could all change very, very soon, so stick by with me. And of course, make sure you smash the like and smash your subscribe if you're brand new. But until then, big shout out to the members, big shout out to patrons, you know who you are. And of course, I'm going to tip out of here. Till then, we are done.